Good afternoon. My name is Andre Marcano, doctorate candidate at California Intercontinental University, class GRC 605, Business Research Methodology and Quantitative Statistics, Dr. Meng Long. The subject, visualizing hypothesis testing. The agenda consists of testing a mean, comparing two groups, an efficiency comparison, a correlation test, takeaways, 1 from creating hypothesis testing, and 2 from using visualizations, and finally the conclusions. In these visualization tests, we are asked to state and justify the null and alternative hypotheses for each scenario. The first is a test of a mean. The research question states, on average, are the widgets from Acme Widget Company defect-free? The null hypothesis will be the mean of defect-free widgets is not equal to 0. The alternative hypothesis is the mean of the defect-free widgets is 0. Visualizing the graph, we can visualize that the mean is equal to 0. Therefore, there's a good chance we would reject the null hypothesis in this scenario. In the second visualization test, we are comparing two groups, Major League and minor league hitters. The question asks, does the average Major League team have more home run hitters than its corresponding minor league team? The null hypothesis would be the mean of average major league hitters is equal to the mean for average minor league hitters. The alternative hypothesis would be the mean for average major team hitters is not equal to the mean for average minor league hitters. After visualizing the graph, we can see that the means are different for each group, the major and the minor leagues. Seeing that the major leagues means are greater, we can say that visually the mean is larger for the major league than the minor league, looking at the graph. And the major league hitters have more home run hitters, and the major league hitters have more home run hitters than the minor leagues. So we can reject the null hypothesis in this scenario. The third visualization test is an efficiency comparison. Looking at the bell curves, we can see that there's a vast contrast. 10 hours versus 60 numbers served per hour, and 4 hours versus 100 numbers served per hour. The question asks, do the teams have equal mean efficiencies? After a visualization of the graph and a comparison of the bell curves, I state my null hypothesis as the red and blue teams have equal mean efficiencies, and the alternative hypothesis as the red and blue teams do not have equal mean efficiencies. My conclusion would be, after visualizing the graph, it shows that the mean for the blue team to be greater than that of the red team. Therefore, the null hypothesis should be rejected because they do not have equal mean efficiencies in this scenario. In the fourth visualization test, there is a correlation test to be performed. It reads, a German study tested how large industrial use vans utilize gasoline. One of the analysis plotted miles per gallon versus the weight of the various vans in the study. After plotting the data on a scatter plot, the researchers performed a correlational test and found a significant correlation. However, they forgot to state their hypothesis test in their published paper. The question asked, what were the study null and alternative hypotheses? I concluded that the null hypothesis states there is no correlation between miles per gallon and weight of various vans. And the alternative hypothesis as there is a correlation between miles per gallon and weight of various vans. After visualizing the scatter plot or graph, I do see a significant correlation along the line below and above. So I stated my null hypothesis to be there is no correlation between miles per gallon and weights of various vans. And my alternative hypothesis as there is a correlation between miles per gallon and weight of various vans. My conclusion to this scenario, however, after looking at the scatter plot, is the scatter plot clearly shows there is a significant correlation. Therefore, the null hypothesis should be rejected in this scenario. And the important takeaways are in creating hypothesis tests. I mentioned in creating hypotheses, you must know that a hypothesis is a claim or statement about a property or a population. Second, a hypothesis test or test of significance is a procedure for testing a claim about a property of a population. Third, how to identify the null and alternative hypothesis from a given claim, and how to express both in symbolic form. And fourth, how to state the conclusion about a claim in words and symbols. An important takeaway in using visualizations, I said, when using visualizations, you can create a hypothesis and work towards a solution. Second, every curve has an autonomy. You dissect its structure to solve the problems. And third, the highest point in the bell curve, if symmetrical, is the mean. We have reached the conclusion of my presentation. Thank you for watching. The presentation explained the concepts from the unit's reading and lecture as to create 4 visualization hypothesis tests. First, test of a mean. Second, test for comparing 2 groups. Third, a test for efficiency comparison. Fourth, a correlation test. Thank you for viewing. I hope it was educational and insightful. Any questions and comments, please do not hesitate to address them to this presentation. It would be greatly appreciated. Thank you and have a good day.